If you think Hawaii is only sunshine, think again. If you go up to a higher altitude, like this one, you will find a lot of fog, because you are literally in the clouds. And up here, on this altitude, they still have lots of trees. It's like a wet forest all the time. And you have interesting birds and other animals, like the happy-faced spider, etc. And this is the improved historic trail that went from Hilo up to Waimea 150 years ago. Now we have this massive highway. If we could see it, I would say we had Mauna Kea in this direction, but right now, because of the fog or clouds, we cannot see anything. Many of the rainforests up on higher altitude are literally thousands of years old. You can also find ohia trees and many other endemic trees to this island. And I'll tell you one thing, to walk across a lava field can be very, very tricky. Look at the colors. And you have birds specializing in sucking out all the nectar from these. It's very, very beautiful. Look at this one, what a beautiful tree. You have a lot of moss. Crazy red flowers in contrast to this blackish lava. That's what I call sweet. I passed most of the clouds and the sun is coming out, and we have the mighty Mauna Kea behind these clouds up there. And you can kind of see the borderline between the rainy area and the sunny side of this island. As soon as you pass the volcano, the weather is normally sunny. And on the other side you could have really terrible weather with rain and all that stuff. But that's how it is here in Hawaii. You have everything that is good and everything that is bad at the same time. Rain and sunshine. It is just a very interesting place, that is for sure. And when you are looking at this video, I am sure you agree. You sit at home, you think on it, and you agree this is the coolest place you can visit. We can almost see the top. It's very, very pretty. And you can clearly see the line between good weather and bad weather. It just go straight over to the other side, to Mauna Loa. That's how they do it. I just crossed over from the Hilo district into the Hamakua district. And since I'm not going up to the top today, the road will go downhill from here all the way down to the ocean. And you need to be careful when you're driving into Hilo, because the speed limit is about 60 right now. But if you go in the other direction into Hilo, it will be 40 miles in a few locations. And guess who's sitting there waiting? Well, the police. They have these Camaros or other sporty cars. They don't even look like police cars, but before you know it, you see the blue light behind you and you're busted. Just keep that in mind. I'm leaving the upper highway, going down to the beach area, and it's a fantastic view. And by the way, the volcano you're looking at is the Pu'ukohola volcano, the oldest one. So all I need to do is to continue down and follow the speed limit. That is 55, and I should be down there in a few minutes. Let's do it. Welcome to the Pu'ukohola Heiau. It's a great place, and I'm going to check it out, and I will show you all the juicy stuff. The easiest way to see the Heiau itself is to pass this visitor center, and they give you the typical information about this place. They built this one 200 years ago, and it's well preserved, and it's one of the main ones here on the big island. That's probably why they call it the National Historic Site. And if you look up on the hill, you can see it. And they give you the story. It's a very interesting place. And oh, by the way, they talk about the hierarchy they used to have, the political pyramid of the top guys, the king in the top, all the way down to the bottom people who had no value at all. If you have time, you can always sit down and watch a video about the history of this place and maybe Hawaii itself. And they talk about the typical struggle for power until foreign influences and many other things. So it's very interesting. It's very cool. But I'm very curious about the Heiau, so let's run over there. And when I say run, I mean walk, okay? Take a look at the place itself. It's just one of the very best. And behind these two trees we see, you can go down to a lower elevation, almost down to the beach. And they used to have a village there in the past. And the bay is very, very pretty. And we're going to see that in a few minutes. I am not 100% about the meaning of this little, let's call it a tower. But I think people sacrificed stuff on it. Maybe this is a better angle. So again, I think people brought up stuff. Maybe you wanted to sacrifice a pineapple, maybe a couple of coconuts, maybe a fish, who knows, but that's probably what they used it for. It's definitely a divine structure. And this gate will almost lead you to heaven. Nobody is allowed to go up there. And I think, I've seen a picture, I think on the inside of these walls you see, they used to have a courtyard where maybe the priest stayed or worked or lived. And no regular person could ever go up there. And people come from all over the world to admire what the king Kamehameha once built. I found this drawing of how it could have been inside this temple. And they say that the work began in the 1790, and by the summer of 1791 it was done. It's a very interesting place. I wonder if it's still up there or if it's all, just a pile of rocks. I don't know. But it was a very important place, like 200 years ago. Just below it we have the Pu'ukohola Heiau, and that was converted into a fort. I guess they had some enemies that came into the bay and they needed to defend what they had, so they built a platform of the heiau and used it for cannons. So let's take a quick look at that. So the former heiau or temple was converted to a platform, and you can kind of see that you have like a back wall and a front wall that is lower, and I'm guessing just in between they have some kind of platform, maybe of wood, or maybe they used rocks only, and they put up a bunch of cannons facing this bay you see in the background. The village was named Kailua-Kona. Sounds like pelican. All right, let's be serious. Kailua-Kona. All right. It was a nice little town, pretty much on the beach. And my thinking when I see this one, I think it's not a big village, so it's confusing. How could just a handful of people build all this in almost no time? Because remember, it was built in just a year or two. It was very quick. And I get tired of just looking at these rocks. I mean, what a big job. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so we know that the people in Kailua-Kona, they were very tough and very able to do a lot of interesting stuff. You're looking at a smaller version of some kind of temple, and the rock in the middle was damaged by an accident. So we have two parts, the bigger one in the middle and a smaller part just next to it. And the story goes that one of these higher level guys used to be sitting by the rock looking for sharks in the bay. I'm not sure if he saw any sharks. I mean, if I'm sitting here looking for sharks today, I wouldn't see anything. First of all, there is no water. Secondly, we have barely any sharks left. But maybe 200 years ago, it made sense to do that. I also think they moved it. This is probably not the original location. but they found it somewhere and they just put it right next to the water. We have a closer look of this shark stone or shark temple. And it's very easy to understand why this was an important place, because look how beautiful it is. There must have been food in abundance in this area. Fishing was, of course, a very important thing. So having a quiet bay like this was all they needed for a good life in a little village right on the beach. This will be my final view of this very interesting area. It's almost evening, the sun is going down, and I just took a little swim in the bay. Let me show you, it's very, very pretty. I would say it's a perfect place to watch the sun go down. It used to be a busy harbor when sugar dominated this island. They also had a train station. I will come back here another time and show you how beautiful this location is. It's almost too dark now, but I'll tell you one thing, the water was just fantastic. And they have some stairs, so it's easy to go up and down in the water. People bring out chairs, they sit down, they enjoy drinking some beer maybe, and just having a good life. And maybe in 40-45 minutes the sun will be gone.